all, could you please explain to those who, like me, I used to have post offices in their country that are representation of the traditional conservative state business. And you are here at the Future Blockchain Summit. How come?
Definitely, we look forward for the future of post offices, and that's the core of our DNA. We're here to stay, we're here to last, we're here to grow with the future. So definitely, Emirates Post Group has a great innovation and a great growth strategy to make sure that we're up to date with technology, up to date with trends globally in terms of logistic requirements. So the core DNA is we're here to stay and we're here to last. We're not a company that's going to vanish because of industry trends and because of other changes within the logistics industry. The pandemic have just assured us again we're a vital sector. We're there, that public needs us. As long as there are human beings, there'll be physical goods moving around, and the post office need to serve the society. So definitely we're here.
Well, I think that you actually are being pretty shy. Like, you're not only thinking about the future, you actually experiment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amazing. You are experimenting with the future. You are bringing the future to the post operations. Tell us about your vision of the blockchain related to the post operations.
Thank you, Christine. That's a great question. I mean, today, with all the new cutting-edge technologies, they're the core of any success of any digital transformation. So definitely, as an Emirates Post Group, we're looking and we're experimenting with all the new cutting-edge technologies. As it be blockchain, Internet of Things, AI, big data, all of these things that we try to embed within our digital capabilities, and we try to put strategies around. Now, there's a lot of great stuff that comes with blockchain. Blockchain could be the one single truth source of your core system, but at the same time, you can do a lot of exciting things on it. And I would like us to move from talking tech and blockchain to something exciting that we did last year. So there's an NFT stamps we have issued last year. That's something that we experiment within the new technologies. So as some are aware, we have issued great NFT stamps last year to celebrate the golden jubilee of this great nation, to make sure that we document the success of where the nation have reached so far within 50 years, and to put a really outlook and the vision of the projects of the 50s for the next 50 years with what the ambition that our leaders and our country aim for.
How many stamps are there in the circulation?
I have the stamps here with me, so just to give a small
zoom your eyes now. And so, also check, we did an amazing reportage from Abdullah's office at CoinTelegraph with the video of the stamps, so feel free to check it out as well.
So we started with the concept to make sure that we document the success of the forming of the nation, where 1971 was the nation was found. So we called that issue as in the spirit of the union. And then we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the country, so we said the year of 50. And then the outlook of the project of the 50th, which is 2071, when we're going to celebrate our 100th year of the anniversary of the country. So we issued 2071 stamps. So all these stamps are serialized, so they're only limited in terms of numbers. So the 1971 will only have 1971 stamps, the 2021 will only have 2021 stamps, and the 2071 will only have 2071 stamps. So these are the stamps that we issued. They're a digital twin, so you get the physical stamp, just to give an idea here. So you get the physical stamp, and within the physical stamp, it's an NFC stamp that you have the physical component of the stamp itself. So you have a barcode where you can scan and look at the NFT component of it. You can load it in your wallet, and then you have the NFT equivalent to it. So you have the physical and the digital twin, which is on your blockchain and an NFT stamp. So definitely this is something that Philatelic have appreciated, because it's a new upgrade of not just collecting physical stamps, even collecting NFTs. And we wanted to make sure that we have a rounded a kind of a great surprise for this initiative. So what we did, we have issued a gold stamp because it's a golden jubilee of the country. So we issued the main theme, which is the golden jubilee. It is, again, another physical stamp that has the NFT component. It has 1 gram of gold embedded in the physical stamp that you could really hold and select and keep with you to really celebrate this great, celebration of the golden jubilee of the country.
I remember how my grandfather was collecting stamps. I imagine he has never imagined that it could be in form of a gold stamp. So how many of those?
Again, the gold we celebrated because of the Golden Jubilee, so we only made 2021 piece, and they're serialized again. So we wanted to make sure that these are limited, collectible stamps that you could really, hold them and keep them to you, and you look back after a couple of years and you say, wow, in 2021, NFT existed, and people were issuing stamps on them.
So tracking these NFTs for the last year, how you see the collectors are behaving with those
definitely,
exclusive
we
NFTs.
could see there's a lot of demand. A lot of people have appreciated this. A lot of people have really entered into this domain, tried to really figure out what's going on. What are these NFTs? What are wallets? What is crypto stamps? How can I load them on my wallet? And so we could see newcomers, and we could see really tech-savvy people who understand these stamps very well. They understand the value of them. We could still see people trading them while they just been launched recently. Some people are, getting a couple of stamp, and they want to see how the market will react. And because they're serialized, we saw that there's people who like to have the whole serial. So he might have different serial for each stamp. So what he does, he tries to collect the whole collection of the same serial, and that makes him tempted to, exchange his serial to another one to collect the whole serial for the whole collection.
Whose idea was it to launch NFTs stamps?
Actually, it was, two people in the group who came up and said, there is a great initiative. Why don't we experiment this? And, for me to lead my team, I need to give them room for them to excel and innovate. And the minute they brought the idea on, I said, listen, we're backing it up. Let's go ahead and do it. We had a chat with our board. Our chairman was fully supportive. We got the whole project going from ideation to launching it in 8 weeks. So it was, record-breaking project for us. We usually plan to issue stamps within 6 months to a year, usually, because we didn't want to miss the celebration of the, anniversary of the country, and we wanted to make sure that it has a great occasion for it to be launched. We put all the pressure, and I think the team have surprised us with a great. We have a great, partner who helped us to achieve all this. So it was a great experience.
Well, I think another important contributor to this was that you already had your knowledge about blockchain. You were passionate about it. When we met with Abdullah for the first time, he already knew CoinTelegraph. And please tell us, how have you gotten into blockchain? What was the first click for you?
I mean, as I mentioned earlier, we try to make sure that we experiment through cutting-edge technologies. And we're here to last, as I said earlier. And if we don't really keep learning and keep experimenting and look at trends globally, we will be outdated. And that's the core, and that's the DNA of our group, is we need to make sure we are at the front of our innovation, the front of our industry, and we need to make sure that we have a great collaboration with friends around the globe to learn and to share experiences and to grow.
What other applications of blockchain do you see for the post services?
I mean, definitely the core logistic systems will definitely move one day on a blockchain. In the end of the day, us as in post offices around the world, we have a lot of protocols and a lot of communication, but they are in silo systems. And a blockchain could make sure that could integrate all of these communication on one single system where you have one single truth, and then it can be traceable, trackable, it could be visible for the post offices and for consumers to know where the goods being initiated from, where are they in transit, when would they expect to reach, and especially with the growth of e-commerce, it could really build a lot of great collaboration and synergies between e-commerce growth and logistic requirement growth to have one single system built on a blockchain that all postal companies could communicate through and could be a backbone of your core system.
Getting back to my first point, like post office is usually a representation of something pretty slow in action. What, in your opinion, enables these amazing developments here in Dubai, in the Emirates? What pushes you to search for this innovative spirit in everything that you do?
I think I don't want to be biased in by trying to really praise our leaders, but we live in a country that all of you guys can see. This country, I don't think they go to sleep. This country is developed day and night. And I think when we count our days, we count every hour in the day. We don't exclude the nights in these days. And our leaders are at the front of all this innovation and growth. This great nation being formed only in the last 50 years. And today, our leaders, with their vision, with our founding fathers and our existing leaders, have moved being a desert state to be an oasis within the desert and a role model for this country. So there's no way, as an Emirates Post, we could fall behind. His Highness always been leading great projects, so his team cannot just fall behind. We cannot catch up with him. He's very fast to us, but as much as we can, we try to follow and we try to make sure that we are part of this whole vision for the country. We're part of this innovation strategy that the company put together, and we need to make sure that we always keep pushing the bar and keep enhancing and improving and get better day by day.
You were born here in Dubai, right?
Yes.
I imagine that...
Only 5 years ago.
Only 5 years ago. Well, for Dubai, it's pretty a lot still. 5 years in Dubai, it's like a century in some other countries. In terms of innovative buildings and new ideas and innovations. So did you expect Dubai to become such an amazing international hub for innovations?
I mean, Christine, to be honest, if someone would say, I have the crystal ball to know what's going to happen in the next 20 years, you know, he could be speculating or he could be foresighting, but no one could probably be guaranteed that this is what's going to happen. But I can assure you that the founding fathers had a great vision. When His Highness, the beloved late Sheikh Zayed, have really built a nation in the middle of the desert that a lot of people thought it's not going to exist. That when we look back now, it's easy to look back and say, wow, we achieved it. But at that time, it was planning, it was vision, it was courage, it's risk mitigation. When His Highness, the beloved late Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed, have built a port in 1978, where the whole world was saying, who is going to use this port? Today, it's the biggest port in the world. When he built a trade center tower, which is where we are today, back in 1978, probably people were saying, who's going to be living in these towers? And it's going to be empty. But today, GITEX have proven to be one of the largest technological exhibition. Today, we have probably one of the most successful GITEX across the last decades. The vision started with a clear leadership that wants to create a nation. And I think all of these projects have grown within time because they have made sure that they talk the talk and walk the walk and deliver projects. And I think that's the success of this country.
Thank you very much. We'll be talking a lot about metaverse. That is like a trendy topic this year, I guess, for the whole blockchain industry. So could you just, dream a little bit along with me? How would you see post offices being implemented within the metaverse space if you were to work on it?
You are a great moderator. You know how to sneak and pick some things from the vault, even if the vault was closed. So we didn't want to share anything on the metaverse yet, but I think you're good enough to really open that vault and let us share a little bit. So definitely we're considering to have the first post office on the metaverse. And we're studying very carefully. We want to make sure that we don't just have a hype and a buzz and say, come in an exhibition and say, we're going to be the first post office on the metaverse. We want to make sure that we have a functional post office on the metaverse, fully rounded, fully thought of, and how can it be delivered. Just let's dream and imagine a second where I could be today at home being a postman or a post office happiness center customer service, and you at your home and you wanted a service at the post office that you wanted to do physically, but we enabled you to enter into our metaverse while you're having your coffee at your couch at home, you enter to our metaverse, and then you see me welcoming you in a post office while I'm sitting probably on my own couch at home and servicing you through that whole experience virtually, that you could really feel it, that you were existing in a post office, you got their service done, and you were satisfied, and hopefully you give me 5 stars. That's the experience that we want to do. Whatever we're living today physically, we want to make sure that it's being mirrored on the metaverse and it's been successful.
That's amazing. So I would imagine that in 2071, we will all be celebrating alive here, with the results of the longevity innovations.
I think, Christine, you're not that ambitious. 2071, we want to be in Mars. That's where our leaders want us to do. Our first post office hopefully will be in Mars by 2071.
How do you imagine a post office on Mars?
Hopefully, if there is a vision and there is a will, we'll find a way. The same way we have launched our probe that reached in Mars, we'll figure out a way that we're going to have our post office in Mars soon.
That's impressive. Well, I like this, approach to innovations through anything that you can imagine. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Christine.
Just one last question for you. What would you wish to those who work in a post office somewhere in the world who want to get into the blockchain industry? What's the first step they should enable?
I mean, to me, I would always say you got to dream big. You got to wish that you achieve big results for you to really succeed. Today, knowledge and technology has been the easiest medium to anyone in the whole history of mankind. We could all learn through our handhelds. We could get access to data in our handhelds that previous generation couldn't get it. So if you have a will, you want to really innovate, you want to improve, you want to learn, today everyone have access to it. You just need to have that will. And for me, I always advise my young leaders to say that you got to be authentic. You got to be honest on what you want to achieve. You got to be patient. Nothing happens overnight. And you got to have long life learning philosophy, because whatever we learn today and we think we have enough knowledge, in 6 months we look back and it's been outdated. So if you don't keep updating and you don't have that attitude of long life learning, and I could learn from a teenager who's 15 years old, probably he could see the world better than all of us. And I could learn from a 70 years old who have a wisdom and he learned experience through his lifetime. So learning doesn't have a limit. Learning is a journey without a finish line. And I think that's what will make societies, countries, individuals grow in their own space by continuing learning.
That's amazing. And this made me feel a little bit about Oscar Wilde, who already was mentioned today by Michelle. Another of his quotes, my favorite, is, "If there is anything worth doing in this life, it's something that is considered to be impossible." So thank you very much for this
Christine.
trust and belief in the future.
Organizers, thank you for GITEX. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Abdulla. We're moving forward.